I suspect that putting in this rectangle in this soft material is going to take me roughly the same amount of time as drilling and fitting and tidying up a dozen dot inlays, I think. See, that's pretty much there now.
It actually would have been 10 dot inlays on a 22 fret guitar, but, you know, who's counting?
And it's nice stuff, really, isn't it? Apart from the super glue on my
Silly
fingers.
bit.
This accelerator.
So, welcome to episode 9, everyone. We are now well into the end game.
Okay, let's leave that to accelerate just for a fraction of a second. Now, I've got crap left here.
That's glue, no crap, hopefully. What a joke.
We need a nut. Nut blank, and I need to angle the
If you remember the headstock brake angle.
I need to angle the bottom of it a little bit because the brake angle change.
Leveling beams are one of the most useful tools.
Pretty much there.
In all seriousness, they're used across all facets of a guitar build, and actually many other
Nice. Okay.
jobs in a woodworking workshop.
That's good.
I am biased. We do manufacture them, but still, it's true. So I'm making this nut out of buffalo horn, which is fairly soft and easy to work, which is a good thing for the purposes of this build, at least. Tone-wise, I would prefer carbon fibre or bone, something like that. I think essentially that horn is made out of something similar to hair, if I recall. Comment below. What do you think? What's your favourite nut material?
There we go.
I very roughly followed the radius of the fretboard there. I'm using it like a file that is has a direction of cut. This is sandpaper pen. Backwards and forwards. Come on.
Okay, it's a bit high, but I'm happy with that.
Always make them a little bit bigger, and remember that I said that. It's a bit higher. Remember this in a little while. It's an important moment. Fine sandpaper, you could just sand it and then buff it straight away with a little Dremel with a polishing compound or something. In this case, brush.
I'm properly starting to rush now.
Yeah, brush indeed.
That's kind of implying that I haven't been rushing the entire time. Yeah.
All right. At some point this becomes a waste of time. Perfection in all things, except when you're in a competition to try and build a guitar in 6 hours, you crazy man. There we go. So that fits well. I think that's about the fastest I've ever fit a nut with an angle on like that. Yeah. It all came together rather well. This is a leveling file to which I'd stuck a piece of impregnated, carborundum impregnated metal as an experiment. It's okay, it's interesting. Acts a little bit like a leveling beam, actually. Four hours and 9 minutes. Insanity. Okay, on to the proper thing. Leveling beam.
Twat. Completely forgot that there was a nut up there. That's one of the stupidest things I've ever done.
Agree. Oh, I definitely agree. So remember we said earlier that it was a little bit high, so...
Yeah, I might have to make a new nut. Don't think so.
Lucky.
Maybe. We'll see. It's all James's fault.
Now we're repeating jobs. There are a few things more annoying than doing the same job twice, especially in a competition. Anyway, so it turns out that everyone at Crimson Guitars had a pool going, betting on times that when I would finish this. And, yeah, I wasn't included. I wasn't allowed to join in, which is a pity. Everybody knew the time that I wanted. I feel hard done by now. Anyway, so our inlay is perfectly in there now, and I just knocked the nut off.
Just knocked the nut off.
I just said that.
Trying to do too many things far too fast.
There's no such thing.
Okay. The super glue hadn't even dried yet. Come on. Okay, so let's stop hitting the nut.
Please.
Yeah? Deal?
Why are you blaming Sean?
Okay. Four hours, 11 minutes. There's a little bit of sanding still to do on that. sure I have sandpaper somewhere. I've just completely... Aha!
You tidied up, didn't you, Ben?
Let's clean it.
That's a fan blowing right into the microphone.
It's a hot day today.
Sorry.
Okay. Now, I'm going to do this in stages. So,
You all watching that sharp bit, wondering if I'm going to stab myself.
so I mustn't forget that I've sanded this half of the fretboard up to 240. Otherwise, for the rest of the guitar's life, it'll just look weird, or until we come back afterwards and fix it by scraping or something.
I really despise scraping in between frets after the fact. It's very annoying.
So, half an hour is enough before we take the clamp off. It should be glued.
No.
Just an amp being plugged in there.
I don't understand the horrified look at an amp being plugged in.
But,
This is a guitar building company.
okay, we need something there. Okay.
On to the finer work.
I'm just chamfering over the fret slots.
This allows the fret to go in easier and also helps if and when at some point it needs to be refretted. It
Alright, that's an easy one to remember that we got to.
ooh, dusty.
Fret wire. Where's my fret bending check? Far too much mess. There it is. Thought I got that out already.
Or very nicely asked an apprentice to get it out for me, to be a little bit more accurate.
I don't know what. Okay.
It's supposed to be used a lot slower than that. It really is.
I am just
Insane.
whipping these through.
That's the wrong one. I told
No.
you. Come on. It's a bit tight, that is, but it's all good.
I need to slow down.
You need to wash your face.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take too much in 2 passes rather than 3 or 4. And, yes. Life is better after a deep breath and a little bit of reflection.
4 hours, 16 minutes, and change. This is the hammer made from
Pommel Sapili.
the Pommel Sapili used in the 9-hour build. If you haven't watched that, please go, do so.
Seriously. Watch it.
You need to.
It's excellent. You need support under that neck, man. Come on. How many times have I told myself to come on?
Really do need support underneath the neck when you're fretting it, but this'll do.
If you listen very carefully, you can hear that this is a Deadblow hammer. I'm very proud of I'm very proud of my hammer design. It's I came up with a way to actually have a completely hollow head in something that isn't encased in horrible looking plastic. Indeed.
This fret wire appears to be a little bit more bendy, a little bit more flexible than I'm used to. I wonder if our supplier has changed suppliers. Not sure I like it as much. I'm sure I don't like it as much.
There are, as is the case with anything, there are different levels of quality with frets, even with frets that are made out of a similar material. So nickel silver could have varying quantities of nickel and brass, and no silver ever. But good frets are a lot harder and are a lot closer to stainless steel frets than people tend to know about. If you've got a cheap guitar, it's probably got cheap frets that aren't very hard. And going from that to stainless steel is amazing. Going from that, though, to a good nickel-silver fret is almost as amazing. In this case, though, it just doesn't feel quite solid enough, or as solid as I'm used to. Dust in the slots. Never a good thing. That hammer is beautiful, isn't it? Minutes 21, maybe 4 hours 21. I'm liking the background music.
Wow. That's the first time I've missed a fret in a long time. Must be distracted by something. Imminent doom.
Never.
Well, I do hope that wasn't prophetic.
I must be in a rush. I'm doing that backwards. Is that a battery change? I saw a jump in the footage there. Foul! You really do need to wash your face, Ben. Nobody told me just how dirty I was looking.
Okay, so let's check that. Ha, sorted. Don't have to replace that at all.
The
That's
pencil's
okay.
cut in half with the lead flat on the top of the frets, and at that point is the lowest point that your string can go on the nut. And I obviously had a little bit more space.
We have a spectator. How are you, James?
Good,
I'm not sure.
should probably have a headstone for that.
With a custom inlay. How about a dragon?
Exactly. Dragon eating a swan.
A dragon eating a swan. Okay.
One of designed by former
Charlie, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
There are some things that make life much easier. A nut slot spacing rule, or jig, there are jigs available, is an essential thing. So, little razor saw. This is made by the same company that make Clifton, whose name's completely lost. Pax. Pax? Maybe Pax. Flynn Garlic and Co. It's the last UK saw makers. Fantastic company. So I'm just roughly notching the frets out to the right width. I'm not going to depth right now. That's best done when the strings are on.
Okay. I'm so tempted just to whip these clamps off now. It's been 35 minutes or so.
No.
I don't know. Okay. Not quite yet.
The problem is finding jobs to do while that clamp and everything's in the way.
Okay.
I did have a fantastic idea for, as described earlier in this video series, a sliding dovetail where I have a third piece of wood, sort of a double-ended dovetail, like a bow tie in cross-section, that would be inserted in between the neck and the body and would pull them together. And unfortunately, I didn't try it, because that would have taken probably even up to an hour of messing around. And who has the time these days?
Okay.
Okay, indeed. It's nearly time to change cameras. Or camera people, at least. I seriously was tempted to change into a slightly different red plaid shirt. Just for a single shot or scene. See if anybody noticed.
Meant to do that.
Yes, you did. We're going to do that one day.
Nope. Ah, there it is. Camouflage. Thank you, Mr. Camera Person. Sean the Brave.
Why the brave? I don't know.
In all seriousness, we are currently embedded in the building of this guitar and are completely not thinking about how this is as hard for the camera people and the editing afterwards as it is for me to build the damn thing.
And the voiceover.
Hopefully slightly easier than it is for you guys to watch it.
Don't forget the voiceover.
I'm hoping this is enjoyable.
Seriously.
But yeah, kudos to Talita and Sean for
I agree with you,
putting
but
up with the filming process.
everybody is wiped out after this. And it's still in progress now. So, yeah, props to the media department. Why did you nearly touch the screen there? That must have been a thinking movement. What's this iPad thingy doing on my tool rack? Do you know what? It's really nerve-wracking just watching. I know what happens. I know exactly what happens. And still, watching that clock tick down is really nerve-wracking. By God.
Do I need to wipe my face?
Finally.
Am I covered in dust?
Finally, somebody told you.
Why didn't anybody tell me? Fair enough. Ben's going to do some serious sleeping after this.
Woo.
Woo!
This is the bonus
Well, this is me for the rest of the build.
of not having any hair. In all seriousness.
The great ends are a bit sharp, James.
Yeah.
I have a little way to go.
You need to do a bit of carving as well. Still, it's okay.
He's a sweaty piece of paper. Okay, so what do you think, James? In your professional opinion, these clamps have been on since 2:30, so basically 40 minutes.
I think, oh, because you can still carve the neck. Still very flat in the neck.
I can do a little bit of that, yes. I'm going to clear some space. Okay, time to change camera people. It is 4.5 hours. I've just dislocated my audio again. Back on? Oh,
So it's got a light on it.
it's
I am a technical difficulty.
flashing blue.
Nice. Yeah, mine's got a light.
What a mess under my bench.
Flashing blue. Flashing blue.
Yeah, we're back.
We're back. Okay, I just walked into something and dislocated my audio. Sorry. 4.5 hours. Screw you, James. He's laughing and coughing in the background. 4.5 hours. That means I've actually only got 1.5 hours.
Language.
Go away. Next episode, click like, subscribe, support Patreon, etc. Please, we love you. I'm starting to panic. Can you see? Panic!
Actually, you're looking like you're having fun now. Goodbye.